Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Paddock Live. Joining me is Mr. David Scott. How are you, Scotty?
I'm very good, thank you very
One
much.
half of Sober Fellas. Check that out. One of the best podcasts on YouTube. Joe's away, so Scotty's joining me. But big shout out to Joe as well, because he's over in Japan, right? And what did he do when he got up this morning? Did he go and see the sights? Did he go and get something to eat? Did he go and look around Japan and experience some of the cuisine? No, he didn't. He did the news for us. He got out his camera and he did the news for us. So big thank you to him. Shout out to Joe Smith. We're looking forward to hearing all these stories when he gets back. But he's going to be doing a couple more news over there as well. Some may look at that as hard working. Some may look at it as a bit sad. But, we're grateful. Loads of stories to get through. Make sure before we get into them, you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Going to be talking about some transfers, potential transfers, incoming and some outgoing as well. Loads of people in the chat and the comments already. Great to see. I will get to them shortly. But first of all, we know what you're all here for. The puns. Let's get into the first one. Scotty, do you do the honours?
Okay, unbelievable. 100 million. This Saint Grealish we're talking about. This ain't Grealish.
This ain't Grealish
we're talking.
That's, I think, strong. I think it's a strong, solid start, because sometimes what happens with these lot, right?
Yeah.
They'll test the water with the first one. They'll do something like completely outrageous or stupid.
Left field.
Yeah, and see how they've got away with it. And then they might even change it as you're talking. Do you know what I mean?
I'd go italics on there.
You go with what?
Italics.
Don't confuse them. Just,
all right, yeah. Too many buttons.
Jesus wept. Yeah, no, good solid start, gang. Well done.
Right, okay. Southampton are ready to demand a staggering fee of more than 100 million for Spurs and Man City target Tyler Dibling. The highly rated attacking midfielder will be one of the most sought after talents in this summer's transfer window, but Southampton's current valuation is leaving Premier League clubs frustrated. Dibling's profile, versatility and age have seen him emerge as a serious option for Spurs, who are set to reignite their interest at the end of the season. Champions Man City, Manchester United, Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig have also scouted the teenager regularly this season, and that's from The Telegraph.
So relatively reliable there. Listen, we had Nathan Salt from the Mail on the other day. He said, look, the interest in Tyler Dibling from Manchester United is real. He's had 2 very good games against United this season, and he caused Diogo Dalot all sorts of problems at St Mary's, and then was part of that team that for an hour played us off the park at Old Trafford. I like him. He looks like a good player. Obviously fits into the system. He's not going to be 100 million, is it?
No, not a chance. Especially if Southampton go down as well.
Yeah, I can't see it being anywhere near that. But if he is anything, I won't be saying it's 100 million. Even if he's half that, it might be a struggle for United. Yeah. I think United, budget-wise, are probably looking at, can we get him for 35, 40 million? Even 50 might be too much. 100 million, certainly too much. Do you think he will end up at United?
I don't know. For me, I think the profile certainly fits it. The age. He's obviously got a great ceiling ahead of him in terms of what he can become as a footballer. Suits Amarim's type of football. But it's all going to be about the money in it, and I just can't see Manchester United going anywhere near above 40 million for him. I can't, and if we're not, I know Spurs aren't.
That's a good point, now, because the clubs that, City, you don't know what's going to happen with them. These charges are going to get any sort of transfer ban. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Bayern Munich, yeah, they've always got money to spend. RB Leipzig, less so, but they're not exactly skint, so they might have some money, but I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? You'll have to see how that pans out. Get involved in the chat in the comments. I'm going to get into some of them now, and then we'll move on. Daniel Coe says, I'd take him for 100k. DJ Ruby says 100k is too much. That's harsh. Tony says, I'd pay 40 million, no more. Agent 666 says, he can dibble off. Is that even a thing? Dibble off?
Dibble off? I don't know. The dibble was the police, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the old bill, wasn't it? Officer Dibble and all that top cat. Do you remember it? Ross Murphy says 100 million. He ain't a Gareth Bale. Okay, fair enough. Alex Foot says put 35 mil on the table and walk out, preferably after you've got an answer. But Patrick McKee Hardwire says 25 million tops. Not more than that for this lad. I mean, yeah, I think you'd have to. A lot will depend, won't it, on the interest from City, Bayern Munich, and Spurs and RB Leipzig. How solid that is. Because if you get into some sort of bidding war, you probably go, right, just forget that straight away. We're not getting into a bidding war with the likes of Manchester City and Bayern Munich. No chance. But if it's one of them where no one puts a bid in for him, no one's actually, he's on a list for everyone, but there's no one actually ready to buy him other than maybe United, then you could get him at a reasonable price. Because let's be honest,
Southampton will need to sell him when he goes down. And I think a lot of it comes down as well to Dibling's ambition as a player and where he wants to go. Obviously, you've got Manchester City with 115 charges hanging over them. Will they be looking to bang out? I can't see a young player of that age going to Munich or Leipzig.
Good point.
Why would he not want to go to the Europa League champions?
Great shout.
We're going to have Champions League football next season. I'm just saying, the others aren't.
No,
Bayern Munich will, but they're in Germany. Don't go there.
Come to United, yeah. Bayern Munich might win a title 9 seasons out of 10 or whatever it is, but you know, United, you get to play in the Europa League at least twice out of every 4 years. It's mint. Yeah, good pun, good story. I don't think he's going to go for 100 million, nor should he. Right, move on to the next one.
Deutschland's another move. Deutschland's. Is it for Deutsch? Is it?
Yeah. What's this?
Is that he's gone for?
Go to Germany, doesn't he?
Deutschland's. So Deutsch.
Right.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to be honest with you, right? Not to be that guy. We've had these kind of discussions before, haven't we, gentlemen? Right. And I know this is going to go down like a lead balloon with everyone in the room and everyone in the chat. Do we go to name calling on players that are still technically United players? Yeah, with him is the answer from the Geordie in the corner. You wouldn't be saying it was Anthony Gordon, would you? So it's, I don't know. What do you think?
What about calling him a douche?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a bit of a shithead.
Pick the wrong person. If Joe Smith was here, he'd back him up now. But yeah, I've got no chance.
Come on, man. What sort of player goes?
And we've got a better picture than this.
I love this picture because look at this. It looks like someone's drawn the McDonald's logo.
We do this every week.
Yeah, it's the exact same picture.
Why?
What's up with him?
Look at it.
What?
Right, come here. Right, that. No, it's not that far off. Hang on a minute. Look at that. Look how big his head is. His head's not that big, surely. I don't like that.
Maybe that's why.
Read the story anyway.
Okay, sorry, pal.
No one cares that you call him a douche. Go
on. Chelsea would have to pay United a fee if they decide not to sign Sancho in the summer. The figure would be £5 million. It's a substantial penalty for breaking the contract between the two clubs after Chelsea agreed to pay a transfer fee of between 22 and 25 mil at the end of the season. But United still stand to take a hefty financial hit if he returns to Old Trafford. Sancho earns 250 grand a week on a contract that doesn't run out for another 15 months, and there are no guarantees that United will be able to move him on quickly if he becomes their player again on June the 30th, and that's from the Daily Mail. Furthermore, Bild reports that Sancho's desire to return to the Bundesliga is growing daily, and that the winger has told his representatives that he wants to move back to Dortmund.
Did you put that together, you lot? Yeah, no, it's good. The summarising of the current situation with Jadon Sancho, very good, very strong. The pun, regardless of whether you want to call him a douche or not, it's mid, as the kids say. Yeah? Well, come on. All right, we'll go into the chat. Let us know what you think. No, Phobos Sacco, man, says 10 out of 10 pun. Brilliant. Gyökeres says, bit harsh, but fair enough. He's not wrong, but 2 out of 10, says MAP. Green Banana says douche is correct. McDub TV says facts, Scotty. DM Drum 23 says get off the fence, Jay. The kid's a weapon. Sorry. And there's other things there.
If Sancho was a weapon, what type of weapon would he be? Do you reckon? A spoon.
Remind me never to send Ben into war.
That's it.
Hey. There you go, son. You take that spoon and get over there.
What skill did he go?
I don't know.
Like crazy wild Benny's got a spoon again.
He's got a spoon. The spoon epidemic is getting out of hand. Right. All right. The chat seems to agree with it. They all like it. They don't like Jadon Sancho. They like the fact you're calling him a douche. It's all right. It's solid. You're on to a good start so far, lads. Don't mess it up. Go on. What's the next one?
Oh, na. Oh, na. Andre, goodbye. Hey, goodbye.
What song's this? Oh, na. Andre, goodbye.
That's good.
Bananarama. Yeah?
I like that.
You can never have enough Bananarama on the terraces, that's what I always say. Yeah, I like that. Very good. Go on.
Onana has no plans to leave United this summer and will only move on if Amorim tells him he is surplus to requirements. Recent reports have suggested Amorim is eager to bring a new number one to Old Trafford and move on Onana, who has endured another inconsistent season at the club. United have even identified 2 possible replacements in Royal Antwerp's highly rated Sen Lamens and Lille shotstopper Lucas Chevalier. Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in offering Onana a route out of Manchester, but the former Inter Milan star is determined to stay, and that's from the ESPN and the Metro.
Yeah, I've heard a few people saying that Onana is determined to fight for his place. He wants to make a go of it. He's not interested in going to Saudi Arabia. I get it, he's still only young for a goalkeeper. He's in his 20s, I think.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of rooms left to give. And let's be honest there, right, about Onana, because he hasn't had a great season. I don't think anyone can pretend he has. He's had too many bad games for me this season, and this season has been worse than last season. Last season wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I wanted him to kick on this season. He hasn't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean his top-level career he's done. He's still Manchester United's first choice. There's still a lot of football left to play this season. He's still a player who's got some credit in the bank in terms of what he's done in his career. He won a load of titles at Ajax. You went, well, everyone wins titles at Ajax. Well, you still have to play for him. There's only one goalkeeper position. He got it, and he kept it, and he won those titles. Then he goes to Inter, and I know people say in Serie A he wasn't great, but he got them to a Champions League final, was very good in that tournament. So it's not all doom and gloom for him, but for me, over the next 2-3 months, whatever it is, before the season ends, he has to be better. He has to turn up. Because if he costs us a Europa League, or if we end up finishing 16th and he's had 5 stinkers on the spin, Amorim's going to go, I can't have this guy as my number one next season.
I think that will risk on the Europa League. If he drops a clanger and United get out of that, then I think that's
our season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's our season. I think at the end of the day,
I agree.
At Old Trafford. But you made a point about he's going to stay and fight for his place. But it's like Ben in the playground with his spoon. Nobody wants to fight him. Who's he going up against? Like, there is no competitor really for the number one spot.
I think, look, Bayern Day, obviously he's injured at the minute, and he had a bit of a stinker, didn't he, at Spurs, and then was much better at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Ruben Amorim, right, and you go, look, I cannot have this guy as my goalkeeper, you might look at Bayern Day and go, I mean, next season probably
That's not a position we want to be in, though.
No, I'm not saying it is, but he's going to stay. My point is, he might say, look, I'm going to stay. I'm going to fight for him. I'm not going to Saudi in the summer. I'm going to stay. And Ruben Amorim might even go, look, I can get someone from Portugal who can come in for 5 or 6 million and do a better job than this guy who's just completely unreliable. Even if it's a stopgap, even if we get a 37-year-old who does one season here, rather than this guy, we don't trust him. But from what I'm gathering, he's willing to stay and fight for his place. The question is it going to be a moot point if Ruben Amorim is just like, you can stay and fight, but you ain't going to get in the team?
Yeah.
And I think you're right about the Europa, because he cost us in the Champions League last season, no denying it. And I think, I'm not hating on Onana, but let's be honest, we went out of the Champions League for a few reasons, but one of the biggest ones was him. He had a few stinkers, didn't he? Come on.
Few.
The Galatasaray game was terrible. It was one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've seen in years.
It's on par with Taibbi at Liverpool.
Got man of the match at Liverpool, you nutter.
He made a couple of mistakes. I was at that game. They're terrible goals he conceded, though. Is Liverpool his
No,
debut?
you're thinking, he got man of the match in his debut. People forget about that massive Taibbi. We won 2-1.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Chelsea, lost 5-0 the next game.
Well, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It was stinking, wasn't it? Then he did the thing where he saved the penalty against Copenhagen, where you think, oh, right, okay. Yeah. And then, was it Copenhagen away where he was at fault for like 2 of the goals again? He just had a nightmare. There's still a chance he can salvage his career. And also he's benefiting this season from the fact Tommy Eaton and Ali Bayern Day are both injured, so he's in the mix.
What's your personal opinion on Onana as a goalkeeper, though? I mean, moving forward, I can't see him having any form of consistency for a team that has the ambition to be challenging for top spot or European trophies. He's far too much of a liability. When he came, it was all about playing out with the feet and stuff. And even that, which is supposedly his strength, has been lacklustre at best.
Well, we've
this
abandoned
season.
it now, haven't we?
Well,
you noticed last few games we've abandoned it.
We don't even play that type of football. So and then when you look at his highlights reel, it's him arriving. Yeah. There's not that many spectacular saves. He's average at best, and that's not good enough for Man United.
No, there was a time last season where he started to become more just reliable, not spectacular. Just solid 7 out of 10s. You saw it against the Scousers. 30 shots, but none of them were unsavable. But just solid, just reliable, get that clean sheet, fair play to you. We've seen it in the last few games, but it's too little too late, 'cause there's still life in his career at United. Personally, do I think he's going to be the Manchester United goalkeeper? Long term, no I don't. I think the one thing that might save him is we have other priorities. If Ruben Amorim sees enough for him this season, Ruben Amorim might go, look, in an ideal world, I replace the goalkeeper, but I've also I need a new striker. We ain't scoring enough goals. I need another wing back. That is my game plan. We haven't got enough wing backs for what I want to do. I need another central midfielder because Casemiro and Eriksen, they ain't going to be better next season, and probably Eriksen certainly is going to go. So he might look at it and go, with the lack of money I've got, I can survive another season with Onana, sorry. But, like you saying, it depends on what he does this season. And you're right, if he costs us Europa, I think Amorim's just going to go, no, you're done. Get involved in the chat in the comments and let us know. Dave Rowbottom, who's been a member of the Academy for 43 months, he's going back to the Jadon Sancho story. He says, if Sancho was a weapon, he would have been one of them guns you fire and no bullet comes out, just the word bang. Oh, do you remember that? Like the ones, like the joke. Yeah, that's what he says there. Abhinav Verma, who's been a member of the Academy for 47 months, says, Onana was good for Inter in Europe. Just because you're not good for United doesn't mean you're not good in Europe. United has different pressure. Yes, it does, but we need him to be good for Manchester United, don't we? That's the issue. We can't just say, he was good at Inter. I know you're not saying that, but we can't just say, if he was good at Inter, he can be a good goalkeeper. What we're seeing at the minute is he's deep into his second season, and we haven't seen anywhere near the levels of consistency you need for a Manchester United goalkeeper. Now, some goalkeepers take a little while to get going, but I think we're past the point where we're going, he's new. He's been here long enough now to be doing it more consistently. And I think you get into that whole thing of the defence getting nervous around him at times and sort of... Yeah, it has a knock-on effect. Yeah, it's not a good place to be. And it happened even with David De Gea towards the end of his time at United. And we can't afford to just keep relying on keepers that have lost the plot. I hope he turns it around, because I like him, his personality. The performances haven't been great. Go on then, let's have the next one.
We'll lose our midfield anchor. Butter him up before it's too late.
That genuinely might be the best one ever, right? Honestly, because usually when them donuts put a picture on here, it's just cringe and it's horrible and I hate it.
Yeah.
That is mint, and also this is a reference to Corn on the Kobbie Butter Me Up, which is what he did earlier, which made absolutely zero sense. But this one does make sense, and it's referencing that.
I think that works on many levels.
Chef's kiss, that, lads. You're on fire tonight. I'm telling you, very good. Go on, I'll let you read the story.
Inter are considering a bold summer swoop for Kobbie Mainoo as part of their squad rejuvenation strategy.
What? Squad rejuvenation strategy. Okay, sorry.
I wonder what biscuits to do at that meeting. Inter's interests reflects their own ownership's broader transfer strategy. Oaktree Capital, the club's majority stakeholder, has made it clear that future investments should prioritise young, high-potential players who can grow into first-team stars. From a stylistic and strategic point of view, Mainoo fits that mould perfectly. Inter are closely monitoring the situation and could make an inquiry if Man United are willing to listen to offers. How many times strategy? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's been written by a businessman.
Yeah, you don't like...
What's this Oaktree Capital?
Some losers. Basically. I hate this. I hate the idea of Kobbie Mainoo leaving. I hate the fact that he's injured and people are forgetting how good he is. I hate the fact that this season he's not done what he did last season and everyone's going, oh, well, he's not really any good. He's still only 19. He's mint. I love him and I want him to stay. I don't think United are going to move forward by getting rid of players of the calibre of Kobbie Mainoo, who's come through the academy, smashed it at 18.
Yeah.
I don't repeat myself, but come on, man. I know you can't look at that FA Cup final as the be-all and end-all, because I lost my head with it, and I would have given your man, whose name escapes me, it was Sofian Amrabat, a new contract after that performance.
Yeah.
But Kobbie Mainoo was mint last season, and then in that final, he's man of the match against the likes of Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne in that midfield. Oh, fuck off. What are we doing? And he gets the match-winning goal as well. And it's not just that. Look at his performances towards the end of the season. In fact, ever since he came in, going back to his Goodison debut, in November, I think the year before. So I just want us to players like Mainoo. I'm grateful we got him. Build a team around him. I'm not saying he's the main man, but you should be part of that. And also, there's this question, where does he fit in? Is he a 10? Is he a 6? Is he an 8? Maybe he can try him, maybe he can fill in different roles. Maybe there is a sort of situation where Kobbie Mainoo doesn't start every game.
Yeah.
It is a fucking idea for a teenager. Why don't we rotate him like City did with Phil Foden for fucking about 3 years? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of playing him till he's knackered and then
Playing him up
dumping him.
front.
Yeah. Oh, he's quite good going forward. I'll stick him up front. Well, that was a fucking silly idea.
Yeah.
So anyone who watches the channel knows my feelings on Kobbie Mainoo. Where do you stand on?
Well, just to keep on the pun, I reckon plenty of Man United heads will melt if he were to go. Not getting any claps at the back there. You can all do that. You're welcome. There we go. Bit pathetic. I think he's one of the handful of players that Man United have got to keep. The rest of them, Kobbie Mainoo, Diallo. Any more? Dorgu,
Delict.
and Delict.
And obviously Bruno.
And Bruno.
Yeah.
But in terms of building for the future.
And also the new greatest defender in the history of association football, Aiden Heaven.
Yes, and okay, so a few.
Yeah. We've named the ones, you know. Anyone
Yeah.
else wants to get involved, but you need a core, don't you?
Yeah.
And I get the idea is right, we can sell Kobbie Mainoo and you can get 50, 60, maybe even 65, 70 million for
Well, we
him,
could
'cause
get a
he's young.
Dibling with the money for Kobbie Mainoo.
And I wouldn't want to do that.
Why?
Because I know Kobbie Mainoo can play for Manchester United. I don't know if Tyler Dibling can. I mean, he probably can. I don't know that.
What's your saying if Kobbie Mainoo or his agent turns around and says, I want 200 bags or 200 grand a week at Man United, right? Knowing the financial situation at Old Trafford, that might force United's hand to sell him.
I've heard, when I say I've heard, it's not like I've got inside info, because he said it on this channel. Laurie Whitwell pushed back on that, because there's been all these press reports that Kobbie Mainoo was asking for a lot of money, and apparently that's not the case. And I think, you know, someone who Laurie trusts, and I trust Laurie because he's a very reliable journalist, saying that's
Nonsense.
not true. So don't believe everything you read. I think it's difficult if you're Kobbie Mainoo, you're his agent, because you'll look at that United team and you'll go, right, my client plays most games, if not all games, when he's fit for Manchester United. In that squad, and I get the more experience, I'm not denying that, you have got players who play fewer games than Kobbie Mainoo, who will be on double his wages, or, you know, thereabouts, if he gets a big pay rise. I mean, now he's on like 30k a week or whatever. So even if he got like 70k a week, there's still players that are getting 100k more than him that are playing less than him. The issue is he's 19 years old. So I think you have to maybe come to a situation where you go, look, maybe your starting point is 100k, 100, maybe a little bit more. You can get more than that if you're playing, the team is successful, you're winning trophies, you're finishing in the top 4.
So on a sliding scale.
Yeah, I get all that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like a player, any player, even though I love this kid, getting 200k a week or anywhere near that when they're 18, 19 years old, and there's still some question marks, if we're being brutally honest, even though I love him, about where he fits into this team, and maybe even a few slightly smaller question marks about his fitness in terms of the injuries he's had, because he's had 2 seasons in the Premier League so far, and one of them he's missed half of it, hasn't he? So I think 100k sort of sliding upwards makes sense to me. If you're getting close to 200k, that's when I think the club have a right to say, hang on a minute, but I don't think he's asking for that from what we gather from Laurie.
No, and the club needs to hold some sort of precedence as well. From Kobbie Mainoo's point of view, or his agents, there is a rationale to say, my man's earning X amount of money and Kobbie Mainoo's putting in better performances. I want to equal in there, but the problem is them players were signed on contracts by the previous regime. Now, what needs to happen now to sort of balance the books? Players like Kobbie Mainoo are going to come through, aren't going to get that ceiling. It has to be on a sliding scale. Yeah. You bring a Champions League, you get more money. And that's how it should always be, as far as I'm concerned, for footballers. You don't get paid regardless. You turn, like Luke Shaw should be on benefits now until he can get off the couch.
Didn't you do a joke about that on TikTok? Was it your mum's on benefits?
No, he should be on, No,
I get your point. Yeah, he should be on benefits. But was that what he said, your mum's on benefits or something? Was it some sort of TikTok thing? Was it a trend? All right, okay. I wondered what he'd been up to. It's interesting that he's been making TikTok videos about benefits, and you mentioned that he should be on benefits. I do feel sorry for Luke Shaw, but I get your point. Like to Luke Shaw, maybe even Mason Mount, they're on big money. They ain't playing. They haven't played a lot, to be honest with you, over the last couple of years. So if you're Kobbie Mainoo, you're looking at it and going, all right, he's injured at the minute, but he's played more than they have.
Yeah,
and does he get the right to earn money? I think there's got to be some sort of compromise. Just keep the kid. He's a United fan. He doesn't look like strike me as someone who's keen to move away or go, elsewhere.
I don't think he's got any ambition to go anywhere else.
I think you can keep him and sort of say to him, look, be part of what we're trying to do here. You just named a load of them. we've got a good young sort of nucleus there. When you look at like Dog, I know it's early doors, but Heaven looks decent. Cheeto looks decent. Again, it's early doors. You've got Lenny Yoro as well, who obviously turned down Real Madrid to come to United. Look at the academy, even the under-18s are smashing it. There's a good chance this, over the next few years, United could do bits. So hopefully, Kobbie Mainoo will be part of it. Plus, you've got the whole new stadium thing.
But he could be captain of the.
Someone says that in the chat. Punch Paint says if Mainoo stays fit, he's a future captain. I agree. Right, let's look at the next one.
Viktor Gyokeres. No?
Right, go on, explain it to me. Grok. Yeah, from Twitter. Grok. Yeah.
Well, the pictures.
Grok.
What?
The picture's made on Grok, Jay.
Right.
So it's just a play on his name being Gyökeres. And
All right, so they've made the picture on Grok,
yeah.
and the pun is Viktor Gyokeres.
Yeah.
Harvey, you have the deciding vote here. What do you reckon? Wow. It's good. Yeah? Ethan, was this one of yours?
It was Ben. Evolving mind, Jay. Actually.
It was Ben's, but it was good. Was the wow? There's a ringing endorsement. Yeah, all right, I like it. I like Grok, mate. I don't like Twitter. I don't bother with it anymore. But Grok's usually all right.
What is it, an AI?
Yeah, I use it sometimes.
Yeah, it's better. Works better as a. I've been grokking today rather than.
But do you know Grok can be wrong?
Do I not? Yeah, a lot of AIs can be wrong.
Because have you ever searched yourself on Grok?
No.
I did this right.
How vain are you?
No, I'm not. I just
What are you doing downstairs, Jay? It's 2 a.m.
Yeah. Why have you not spoken to the kids for
a week?
Yeah. And right. Oh, it's not done it now. Basically, yeah, I did it yesterday, and it said his full name is James, and I thought that's not true. So that was like fell at the first hurdle. And I've done a few things where when you look at it, you think actually that's not right. But when it's summarising things that are on socials, it's quite good. And obviously when it's making pictures of Viktor Gyokeres, it's not too shabby. Go on, read us through this.
Okay, Gyökeres has come to an agreement with Sporting over the summer transfer. The striker has, it's claimed, made a verbal agreement that he will be allowed to leave the team if a fee in the region of, very specific, 50.2 million to 58.5 million arrives in the upcoming transfer window. The likes of Arsenal and United will be relieved to hear the figure is substantially less than his reported 83.6 million release clause. A move for the 26-year-old is very likely in the summer. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea have been informed of the agreement, and that comes from the Mirror and Sky Germany. A bowler has claimed Gyökeres prefers a transfer to Liverpool, Arsenal or Man City over United ahead of an inevitable summer exit. The Daily Star report that a potential deal for Gyökeres could be off the table and United's interest in Delap could intensify.
I don't think we're going to get Gyökeres, do you?
No, it doesn't look likely. And the sad thing is, it looked like that was the one player that everyone was sort of pinning the hopes, because when a new manager comes to a club, they always tend to bring one of them. And we didn't get the other kid that's just gone to Chelsea either. The winger Quendos, is it?
Kendo, sorry.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look. And he's a player that we could definitely do with. But it's going to all be about money in the summer for Man United, and I don't think we're going to go out on a massive spending spree. We're going to spending spree, and I just can't see us being able to afford him.
Yeah,
he's quite vocal on Twitter though. Have you seen it?
No, really.
But yeah, so he replies to stuff and like, "Come and sign for sign for Arsenal?" Who says no? And then he quote retweeted that me.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair play to him. I mean, yeah, I don't think in an ideal world United would have 50 odd million quid to get a striker who cannot stop scoring. He's basically getting you a goal a game this season, and he's just on fire. And I think he'd do a very good job. Like you say, the manager knows him. Usually that happens when you get a new manager in. They bring players in they know. But in this case, it just looks like the finances aren't there. Plus, unless we're in the Europa, we're not going to be in the Champions League. It's just a shame, innit? Because it's an obvious player that's there that the manager knows in a position we desperately need reinforcements in. And it looks like we can't get him. And even worse, to add insult to injury, he's probably end up going in one of our rivals. I say rivals, I don't mean in the league position, but historically. Yeah. So yeah, it is annoying, but we'll have to maybe cut our cloth accordingly. I want us to get a striker with a bit of pedigree, a bit of experience. maybe though we do end up with someone like Liam Delap, who is a good up-and-coming young striker. We've just got to get our fingers crossed and hope it's not going to take him 2 or 3 seasons to get settled at United. I know he's obviously got Premier League experience, but we need someone who can come in now and do a big job. Do a big job. Thank you. Jason, not Mexican, says I fucking love these two together. Thank you. Nomad Joe says, guess it'll be David then. Yeah, Jonathan David, free transfer from Lille. Fancy that one?
Yes, I do. I've said this lots of times. Jay David. Me and you.
Shout. I like it.
You know, we could pun that out for the summer.
That'll be what we'll tell him when he's on the channel.
Yeah.
Right, go on. What's the next one?
That's it.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think you've had a positive evening tonight, lads. You've done well. Yeah?
Well done. Well done, Ben.
I think you've done, yeah, that's been, on the whole, probably up there with one of your best evenings. So, big congratulations to, was it Ben who came up with them ones?
Yeah.
Not all of them, says Ethan. Which ones did you come up with?
In fairness, the Mainoo one was a work, like a double.
Did they see
Right,
they always sort of try and argue that.
He said I was going to say that when I said the anchor one.
Oh, right, was it one of them? Right, so Ethan said the anchor thing, and then Ben said I was about to say that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've all done them ones. Yeah, tell you what, it's over. Yeah, I was just about to finish with you. Yeah, I know your game. Right, all right. Big thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Good to see you all. And don't forget as well, check out some of the other videos we've got. We did a video earlier on looking at some of the disrespect ex-United players get when it comes to these all-time lists and who's the best player ever and all that. You never hear the old school United players, do you, from the early Premier League getting mentioned in the same breath as some of the new ones, and it annoys me. So done a video on that. Make sure you're checking that out. Also as well, we've got a video up, haven't we? In fact. Yeah, you posted, didn't you post a video up?
Yeah, I post all our videos, Jay. Me and Jay have got a channel called Sober Fellas.
Yeah, I'll put a little link
Jay does
in
no work on it. This is the most work you've ever done on our channel.
There you go. I'll put a link in the chat to mine and Scotty's channel there, because Scotty does all the work on it. Because he's a soldier, yeah. He never stops, this kid, honestly. I'm so proud to call him a mate. Make sure you check out that link in the description. Make sure, more importantly, you're subscribing to this channel. We're going to be back in the morning with the news. I'm going to hear live. Also, we're going to have Adam McCullough and Stephen Howson together again tomorrow for Off the Bar, plus they'll have another video as well. So you don't want to miss any of that. That's been Scotty. I've been Jay. This has been Paddock Live. Thanks for watching.